Well, welcome to David Gooden and others who are visiting with us here in Deception Bay. It's good to be here again with you all. People are ringing up and telling me how interesting it is, so that's good. Jed's asked me to talk about getting married and how we got married. Well, that is a story and a half, let me tell you. We went to Papua New Guinea, or I went to Papua New Guinea to fill in a gap. I was able to stay a second year and teach for the second year. As part of that, I met Kay Morgan. Now, Kay Morgan had been the nurse at Kutubu. She went up to train about 6 medical girls. Living up there at Kutubu were Joan and Murray Rule and Kay Morgan. They asked Kay come up and do a refresher for the girls that she trained in the year beforehand. That was a miracle in itself. The mission said, no, you won't be able to go, you won't get there in time. And they just set up roadblocks all along the way. They told her that she wouldn't be able to get the permit to go into Papua New Guinea. Kay said, I've already got that. Oh, well, you won't be able to go in because there won't be a plane. I've already got that. And so on and on it went. Every block they put up, Kay was able to put a pass to it. And obviously God was doing something. He was getting Greg, Brian and Kay Morgan ready to marry each other. Lake Kutubu was paradise. I tell you, we had a warm water lake. You had to try very careful not to swallow any water because that could make you sick. We had cold water out the back in a creek. Oh, it was icy. When I went there, we had 4 classes, and when we left, we had 5 classes, just through natural growth, not through anything special that I did. We started with years 1 to 4 and grew to years 1 to 5, and that was a fun group of male students, and Barayame, the one female student, and she was a top student. She went on to be a nurse at Barlymore, the APCM hospital. Well, I think that's about it for tonight.
What did you do for fun?
Oh, what did we do for fun? Oh, fun. We played not Monopoly, heaven forbid. No, we played Scrabble. That kept us busy. We loved that. Kay hated it, but I loved it. Mind you, I was there for 2 years. Kay was only there for 8 weeks. Kay was there for 8 weeks when I was there. So we weren't really there for the same time. Hope you're not confused, because I certainly am. Who did we hang out? Oh, we played tennis. We had a tennis court. And we used to play tennis on a Saturday afternoon. Or sometimes we'd go for a picnic. We'd jump in the launch. The mission had a launch, and we'd jump in the launch and off we would go to some little aspect of the lake. And the things we discovered there, well, we'll just pass over those. And I want to say goodbye, because tomorrow's another day, and hopefully we'll be able to say hello again and talk about something else in our 6th decade or 5th decade.
Or 3rd decade.
Oh, I think we've done the 3rd decade.
You haven't even finished the 3rd decade.
Oh, haven't we?
Because you went to Kogarah Bay.
Oh dear.
And you had babies.
Yes. I wrote proposing marriage to Kay and asking permission from Kay's mother. Kay's father had previously died. Edna said to Kay, what do you know about this? And Kay said, I don't know a thing. You better just hang on to your horses and see what happens. The mission person also didn't know much about it either. Permission was granted by the field office and the home office. Whatever office needed to grant permission in those days granted permission, and it was lovely. I got a letter from the home office and I tried to hide it from the Papuans, my best friend, Abre Irikusa. I said to Abre, guess what I've got? He said, a letter from the field office, the home office, giving permission for you to marry Kay. I said, how did you know? He just twinkled his eyes at me. I don't think they do much of that these days. You just get married. We had to move from Kutubu to Wollongong Church of Christ to get married because the government chucked us out. And I was no longer allowed to teach in Papua New Guinea because I was white. The church hall got its floor revarnished, resurfaced. My best man was Eric Frith. Eric had joined with me at the Bargo Good News Club. He was a teacher too, and he taught at Yandera. What a wonderful man of God he is. Our matron of honour was, I can see her face, but I can't remember her name.
Okay, I'll edit that out, don't worry about it.
So who was at our wedding? The world was at our wedding. There was about 100 people there. We just flung open the doors and said, come if you want and don't come if you don't want. And we had a lovely time around the Lord's table, celebrating Jesus and the marriage feast of the Lamb, to which we're looking so forward to. I tell you, it's going to be a magnificent feast, that feast, when it finally arrives. But in the meantime, we celebrated here on earth. And where did we have our honeymoon? We had our honeymoon in two places, one at Port Stephens and one down at, I think it was called Red Rock. So there we go. We were off to a fine start. We went to Kogarah Bay, to Sydney, and there we stayed. Within a fortnight of us being married, we were pregnant. Tim was on his way. How precious that was. I think she fell pregnant the second day. My father was most concerned that we were already pregnant and only married one day. My goodness me, what a. We lined up to become pastor of Kogarah Bay Congregational Church for a year, and that turned into 8 years. We had a lovely time there. There were some very precious moments. Jed asked me what was the most precious time. The most precious time in my life. Who can tell? God is so good. He makes our time so precious to us.